believe we'll start with, Tom, can you let us do a roll call, see who's here?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker Reichman.
Here.
President Masterson.
Here.
Speaker Pro Tem Finch.
Here.
Vice President Wilborn.
Here.
Majority Leader Hawkins.
Here.
Majority Leader Alley.
Here.
Minority Leader Sawyer. Minority Leader Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Day. It's like we're all here and with President Sawyer on his way. The first item on our agenda is we have a couple birthdays today. I'm trying to think, Dinah, whose birthday is it today?
It would be Senator
Larry.
And Larry, Senator Masterson, and Alley.
Well, again, we have to set next month meeting, so does anybody have a birthday next month? We'll pick that date. Well, thank you guys for being here and joining with us and participating on your birthday, and happy birthday to both of you guys.
Thanks, sir.
Item number, and Ty, we're not going to sing. I know you wanted us to sing to you, but the people listening do not want us to. The first item is the consideration approval of minutes. You guys have had the minutes emailed to you. Motion by Representative Finch. Do I have a second? Representative Hawkins. Any discussion on the approval of minutes? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. The second item is consideration of possible approval of certain interim committee members' appointments and requests for additional interim committee meeting days. We're going to break this down into two segments, and JG is going to present our consideration of committee member appointments first. JG Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have three sets of appointments that need to be made. The first is for the Legislative Budget Committee. There was a memo that went out that stated that you wanted to have Representative Carpenter pending the approval of the LCC to replace Representative Johnson. The Coordinating Council on Early Childhood Development Services, when we were looking, it was brought to our attention that these two positions that are supposed to be appointed by the LCC have not been made since 2017, I believe. So that is one of the items. You would need to, if you choose to, appoint a House member and appoint a Senate member, and they would need to be of different parties. The third appointment that is needed by the LCC is for the Special Committee on Mental Health Beds. There's two appointments that are listed in the appropriation bill to be made. One is to appoint a senator, and the other is to appoint a House minority representative. And those are the three sets of appointments that we have listed for possible recommendations.
Thank you, JG. Do we have any discussion, comments? All right. Well, we have three. I don't know if you guys want to take them all up at once with recommendations. If so, is there anyone would like to make a motion? Well, let's do the first one first. The Legislative Budget Committee would like to replace Will Carpenter with, we'd like to replace Stephen Johnson with Representative Will Carpenter. Is there motion by Representative Finch, second by Representative Hawkins. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The second one, the Coordinating Council on Early Childhood Development Services. Is there a motion or recommendation made by the committee? Again, we need to have one House member and one Senate member. They must be from different parties. Senator Masterson.
Yeah, I know we've had some kind of internal discussion about that. If it's okay with you, I'd like to appoint Renee Erickson from our side as the R. Obviously, you can choose on the other side if you're okay with that, or that's what we propose.
So if this is the will of the committee, that be a Republican from the Senate, so it has to be a Democrat from the House.
Correct.
Take Representative Sawyer's comments.
Yeah, I would recommend we appoint Representative Susan Reese from the House then.
Okay.
Okay, anybody have any discussion, comments on that? It looked like it's Senator Masterson, you want to make a motion along those regards?
Yeah, I will. If that's okay with you, Mr. Speaker, I'd then make the motion that we appoint as a Republican Senator Renee Erickson and as a Democrat Representative Ruiz.
Susan Reese, yes, we have a second by Representative Hawkins.
Oh, that's right.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The last one in this section is Special Committee on Mental Health Beds. It's an appointment, and I think this group's actually been meeting, just waiting on our approval. And what's there now is Senate appointment of Representative Hildebrandt, House Minority Leader appointment for Representative Henry Helgerson, and the House Speaker appointment was Representative Will Carpenter. Representative Finch.
I would move we make those appointments, Mr. Speaker.
There's a motion by Representative Finch, second by Representative Hawkins. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those no, motion carries. We'll go back to J.G. Scott to talk about our renewed interim request.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've had 3 requests for meeting days. The first is the Senior Care Task Force. They are requesting 1 additional a day. They are already approved for 2 days. The second is the Senate Select Committee on Wind Turbine Lighting. This is a Senate-only committee, and this would just be for the 1-day meeting, and this is strictly for the ability to pay the senators for the interim meeting. The third request is from the Special Committee on Mental Health Beds. They're requesting 2 additional days and 1 travel day. They are already approved for 3 meeting days.
Any discussion on these requests? Not seeing any. Entertain a motion. Representative Hawkins.
I move we approve them as written.
Again, the JG, you want to repeat again what the motion is, what we're approving?
Sorry. That would be for 1 meeting day, additional meeting day for the Senior Care Task Force, 1 meeting day for the Senate Select Committee on Wind Turbine Lighting, and 2 meeting days, and with one of those being a travel day for the Special Committee on Mental Health Beds.
All right, that's the motion by Representative Hawkins. There a second? Representative Alley seconds the motion. Any discussion? Seeing it all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Our third item is authorization, preparation of legislative budget, agency budgets. Again, we go to J.G. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is our standard memo that we ask for instructions to staff for the preparation of the budgets. This would be the same as we have done in the past. Last year, we did include some redistricting information for additional expenditures on the legislature, which was removed. And then we just put finalizing the boundaries and the maps for legislative research. And the revisers, once again, for printing any hardbound volumes that they need. So basically included in here would be using the Division of Budget instructions for the rate adjustments for commodities and such. It would limit salaries and wages to the $88.66 a day for legislators. It would have the daily subsistence at the federal CONUS rate, it would include any cost of living it would not include any cost of living adjustments or any salary adjustments, except for career ladders or any other type of item. And if there is any other adjustment, it would need to be included within the already existing resources. It would not make any changes to salaries for staff agency personnel with salaries fixed by the LCC. And then the rest of this is all pretty standard. So we would request the approval of these instructions to go out to the legislative staff agencies for budget.
Do we have any questions for JG? Not. Anybody would like to make a motion?
So moved.
Representative Hawkins moves to approve authorization for preparation of legislative agency budgets. Is there a second? Senator Alley seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. The fourth item is consideration of possible approval of pay policy and pay plan for 2023 session only employees. Tom Day.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is our annual request for the employee pay schedule. Enclosed, you'll see the assignments and pay policy for the temporary legislative employees. The 2023 matrix indicates salaries reflecting increases based on a proviso out of the budget bill from 2022, Senate Bill 267. In that proviso, it requested, it states that the office assistants and committee assistants should receive a 15% increase. The pay schedule that is attached, the salary scale, is based on that 15% increase. The office assistants sit at salary range 18, which would move them from $13 an hour to $15 an hour, which is the 15% increase. The rest of the scale has been moved to that range of the 15%. Each range has been changed by 15% to accommodate all possible office assistants and committee assistants where they fall in the salary range. The proviso did not include approximately 45 other legislative temporary employees during the session. However, the hourly rates have been changed to reflect that if the council so desires to go above and beyond the proviso that was provided in Senate Bill 267. It would seem unfair to me if we didn't raise the other employees. Those include the document room, all of the doormen for both chambers, and a few other session employees along the way. So the majority are included in the office and committee assistant salary ranges. However, those other 45 are excluded in the proviso. However, like I said, this salary schedule has changed to a 15% for all temporary session employees if the council so desires. Or we can adjust that however the council would like to do so.
Any questions or discussions for Tom Day? Well, I'll just say that I appreciate you bringing this to us early. I know every year it seems like we have a rush to the end to hire these very important temporary workers. And hopefully this gives you enough time now to get the right people for our members and for the public to be able to assist during the session. And I do agree with the recommendation to pick up those other ones that we missed in the proviso. Any other discussion? Would you like to make a motion on one of those effects? Representative Hawkins.
I move we accept their recommendations to increase the pay to include those who have been excluded so far. We would need to include those in this.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Representative Sawyer seconds. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Report on postage allotments. Tom Day.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the annual postage report that I give to the Legislative Coordinating Council. For the franking allotments for legislators, the 22 allotment was $1,335 for representatives, $4,005 for senators. The postage rates were increased by 3.4% on July 1. So the 2023 allotment would move to $1,381 for representatives and $4,143 for senators. I do have information from the United States Postal Service that rates will increase again on January 1, 2023, or I should say they may increase again if the Postal Council decides to do so. Again on January 1, 2023, and then again on July 1 of 2023. So we could see as much as a 3.4% again for January and another 3.4% again for July of next year. But as of right now, this just reflects the 2023, FY 2023 allotment of 1381 and 4143. LCC policy 38 does allow us to increase the postage rates as the federal government increases those postage rates. If we want to wait until next July, even though there may be an increase in January, we can do so, or the council could just approve telling me to do that on January and July if those postage rates increase. We do have, there are some issues that as those postage rates increase, the printing allotments, the amount that can be sent out for newsletters and stuff will definitely decrease as these postage rates continue to increase. So,
any questions, thoughts, Representative Finch?
Well, I think this is an important tool for representatives and senators to communicate with constituents and keep them apprised of what's happening here in Topeka. So I think it's important that we increase the allotment. I would make a motion that we increase the allotment as presented here and then allow for Tom Day or the director of LAS to make adjustments if postal rates go up again in calendar year 2023.
Dollar for dollar adjustment?
Yes, sir.
Second by Representative Hawkins. Any further discussion? All in favor to move the allotment prices up and have them be reflected in the, if they get raised up, if they get increased again, signify by saying aye.
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 Those no. Motion carries. Item number 6 is consideration of approval of session document packet services pricing for the 2023 legislative session. Tom Day.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, another annual report regarding the session document packets. Attached, you'll see that in 2022, our pricing for the mailed first class was $544 with taxes, or if they were tax exempt, it was $524. The document room pickup is $219.90 with tax, or $200 tax exempt. Last year, we had 50 packets. This does not include packets that are put together for the Revisor's Office, Research Department, and/or some legislators. The state agencies, by LCC policy, may receive one free document packet, and that includes, that number is part of this 50 that were done in 2022. We have gone from approximately almost 300 packets just 5 years ago. We are down to 50 packets now that go out. Almost everyone now goes out online and pulls down the bills and the journals and the calendars and any supplemental notes and that kind of stuff. So we are down to 50 packets. We brought in $6,192 in 2022. We don't expect that to increase much or possibly even decrease if we don't even have 50 packets. So my recommendation to the council is to make no change in the pricing for the document packet for the 2023 legislative session.
Questions for Tom Day? All right, do we need a Representative Finch?
To the extent we do need one, Mr. Speaker, I would move that we keep the prices unchanged for packets this year.
Is there a second? Representative Hawkins makes a second. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 7 is update on our KLIS upgrade contract and the KLIS support and maintenance contract. Tom Day.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have been working with Propylon for the upgrade of the KLIS system. If you recall, in June, the council wanted us to move forward with this. And at this point, I will turn it over to Alan Weiss, the legislative CTO, and to give a description of what we have done over the last few weeks.
Alan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Information Systems RFP Procurement Negotiation Committee has been negotiating a contract with Propylon over the past several weeks as directed by the LCC. The Procurement Negotiation Committee, with the assistance of the Office of the Revisor, has a draft contract negotiated with Propylon for the update of the legislative information systems. The system update agreement includes bill and amendment drafting, the conversion to Microsoft Word, codification and publication, updates to the chamber and KLRD systems as needed to process the Word documents and to ensure process integration and to avoid loss of functionality in the new system. The cost of the contract is $3,951,200. The Procurement Negotiation Committee recommends the draft contract and requests the LCC give authority to the LCC chair to review and execute the contract. And additionally, if the LCC agrees to the update contract, the PNC would like the LCC to consider a 3-year support and maintenance contract with Propylon on the existing systems.
Questions for Alan, Representative Finch?
Thank you, Alan, for sharing this with us. In Propylon's reply to the RFP, there's a section numbered 5.9, and it has 10 different deliverables in it. I don't want to belabor all 10 of them. They go everything from redoing the bill drafting software to be Microsoft Word compatible to getting user manuals for all of the software that they create for us. My question to you is this: are you satisfied, is the PNC satisfied that what we are getting for the $3.9 million is the bill drafting update to Word, and then all of the integrations between bill drafting and the chambers and bill drafting and codification, or whatever equivalent Propylon calls that? Now, I know that in the time they sent us the RFP, they may have changed product names or product numbers, but are you and the committee satisfied that what we're getting is what we want, which is the bill drafting update and the integration between that and the rest of the users on the system, so that everyone is using a Word-based version to move the document through the process?
Yes, that is what we are working to get done, is make sure we get the bill drafting and amendment drafting done and make sure that works all the way through the process, through the chamber system, so that those Word documents are processed seamlessly as they run through the process all the way out to codification and publication.
Mr. Speaker, if there are no further questions, I'll make a motion. If there are, I'll defer my motion until their questions have been asked.
Further questions? Representative Hawkins.
How long is it going to take them to implement all of these changes?
We are still on schedule for the 3-year time period that the LCC directed us for.
Representative Finch.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the committee for their patience. I know we spent a lot of time talking about this through the years, and this has been a multi-year project to get to this point. I am skeptical that we'll get everything on time as delivered. So I hope that my skepticism is proven wrong in the end. But I think it is absolutely critical that the bill drafting piece be updated and be revised. People have to be here late into the night, not just legislators, but folks who work here day in, day out, our doormen, our clerks, our revisers, our research people have to stay here very, very late, our IT people as well. And I know that this won't fix all of that, but I think it will help if we have a better, more productive system, an integrated system that will make life easier for those who are drafting the bills. And the core function of what we do is drafting legislation, and we've got to have the tools to do that efficiently, consistently, and well. And so with that hope in mind and stated for the record, I would move that we give authority to the LCC chairman to review and execute a contract for roughly $3.951 million with Propylon for the deliverables in section 5.9 of the contract or equivalents, so that we can get this process going.
Is there a second? Representative Hawkins, any further discussion? Senator Alley.
Thank you. What is the completion date on this contract?
What did we put in? Can I defer to Gordon? What did we put in as final date in the contract?
Representative Finch.
You want to state the date, Gordon? I think it's 2025, isn't it, when we?
Yeah.
That's correct.
You feel that you are on schedule to do that?
At this time, yes.
Thank you.
Further questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Representative Finch.
I would now make a motion that we authorize the LCC chair to review and execute a 3-year maintenance agreement with Propylon to maintain the existing system as we go through this conversion.
Is there a second? Representative Hawkins, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Our last item is an update on electronic timesheet utilization. Tom Day.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you recall, at the June meeting, I spoke with the Division of Personnel Services about the upgrades within the payroll system to include the legislature in the modules so that employees may go into those systems and enter their own time. I was hoping that the system could be partitioned so that legislators were not included in that in the legislature's portion of the timekeeping system. That cannot be done, so the module would have to be done for the entire legislature that is in the payroll system under the legislative payroll code of 428 is the number. They could not partition, so they will continue to do that. They sent me an entire list of requirements that'll need to be done. One of those is that the employees participating in this would have to go through an online training, and that online training would be sent out by me. It's within their system right now. This does not include the Revisor's Office Research Department or the Legislative Post Audit at this time. However, those modules can be developed for those agencies if they so desired at a future point. We will continue working with them to get all of this taken care of. There, like I mentioned in June, there still has to be testing done by central payroll as well as personnel services to make sure that all information is included within each individual's module for that individual. And then we will have to identify supervisors, managers to sign off on those leave times for the employees. And we also have overriding authority within LAS to make those approvals, especially for leaders that only have one employee, like the Speaker Pro Tem and the Senate Vice President. So we would have to have another approval outside of that so that we don't have the legislators needing to have to go in and do that. Now, with the legislators not being able to be partitioned out of this, you may receive some emails throughout the year from Personnel Services regarding that timesheet, but you can just ignore those and we can move forward. We will still take care of the legislators from our end through LAS in that timesheet approval type issue because legislators are really in there as payroll as well. So we have to take care of you throughout the year. So the timing for this we'll definitely have within the next month or two. Well, I'm going to say 2 months, but definitely before the session starts.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for the update. I know Senator Sykes, this has been important to you in your office. You have any questions, or are you satisfied with Tom's report?
No, I just want to say thank you for your work, and I didn't think this would take us a year, but I'm glad to know that we will have this in effect by session. So thank you. Thank you.
That brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. Thank you guys so much for participating.